Hey guys, Shantae here. First of all, I just want to say that God is absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen the last video that I posted about the word that God gave me for 2016, I would encourage you to just go check that out. It has sparked a lot of conversation between me and many people around the world. I have heard testimonies of suddenlies and breakthroughs happening and God just showing up mightily on people's behalves. And it's been such a privilege to hear those things. And it's also been a privilege to hear about those who are struggling and going through their wilderness season right now. And I want to encourage some of you right now because as I study the word and and I kind of mentioned that in the video as well, that God had showed me many people who had gone through a process and the ones who did not. And the ones who did not go through the wilderness process, they fell and great was their fall. But those who did go through the process, they had great success. And that's God's heart, is for you to succeed. I want to talk about several people that did go through a wilderness journey, and that would be Joseph. Joseph was sold into slavery, then he was thrown into a prison, and he was alone. Moses, he was thrown into the backside of the desert, and he was alone. King David, before he became king, he was out in the sheepfold tending sheep. That was the lowest job possible that he could have done in that time period, and he was alone in that place. And so many of you are feeling alone right now. You feel like people have abandoned you, friends have walked away, people that once were very close with you, that walked closely with you, have left your life. But here's the thing, God has caused that to happen. He orchestrated all of that because he is teaching you in your own wilderness journey to rely completely upon him, and he is removing your dependence upon man and upon anything else that stands between you and him. Whatever it is that you run to in times of stress, in times of great need, the very first thing that you run to, if it is not God, it is an idol, and God will strip that from you and cause that to be removed. Because when you learn to fully rely and depend upon him and completely submit yourself to his guidance, that is when you're going to be ready to run into all he has for you. And so he will allow people to be removed so you can learn that, because sometimes those people are a hindrance and they are a distraction. And it's not that there's something wrong with them, but it's that there's just is something that is distracting you from running to God. And so God will have to remove that for a season so that you can learn to completely and fully rely upon him. And that is another purpose of the wilderness season and God bringing you through that. So don't be discouraged. Don't wonder why people are walking out of your life or why everything seems to be turning upside down when God just spoke an amazing word over you recently and everything seems to be chaos around you and it looks the exact opposite of what God said, and you don't even see how you're going towards your calling, and in fact it seems like your calling is getting further and further away. But be encouraged, because that's how God does things. He's very intentional, he's very purposeful, and he knows exactly what needs to be done so that you can be positioned for greatness. And he will do what needs to be done. He's into the details. You have not lost your calling. You have not lost anything, but you have everything to gain by just submitting to God during this process, conquering the battles that need to be conquered, conquering the mountains. Stop running around that same mountain again and again, but conquer what needs to be conquered so you can move forward. And God is walking you through this. He says that he will never leave you and forsake you, and that's one of the things you will know when you come out of this, that he is the only one that will never leave, because people will fail you, people will disappoint you, because they are never and will never be able to take God's spot in your life. They were never meant to fill that role, and they'll never be able to. And God will cause you to see that in this place. You will know that it is only him. You will come out fully leaning, fully trusting on him. And like Song of Songs 8:5 says, who is this coming out of the wilderness leaning on her beloved? And you will learn the art of leaning on him, the art of depending upon him, because that's what he is working into you in this season. And so be encouraged that you are right on schedule God is doing his thing in that place, and the greatest work that God will do in you is in the wilderness. And the work that he does in you is what prepares you for the work that he will do through you for the sake of others in the promise. But you've got to get through this part first. I love you guys. I'm praying for every single one of you. Thank you for sharing your stories with me. You can continue to do so. I love talking with all of you and connecting with you. God bless you. Bye.